Hello everyone, welcome to Cabin of Fazza. This is Razan. This is our daily sports show. We talk about all kinds of sports here. Um, but today we will not talk about NBA because there are a lot of games and matches to cover. And hopefully tomorrow or day after we will talk about NBA. Um, let's start with F1 for the qualification for the race today, which is a game to watch as well. Piastri is on pole, Norris second, Verstappen third. It's obvious that these three want it the most and they're trying their best. In the sprint last night, Piastri won. It was an easy win. No one could really challenge him. It's a bit of a tough, um, you know, tough road to not tough circuit. I didn't remember the name. It's a tough circuit to like pass other cars. It's a bit tough. So he had an easy game. One, I got 8 points. Russell second, Norris third, Max fourth, gained two, Alonso seventh, lost three, and Hamilton at 17. Not very good for Hamilton. Quite disappointed. He seemed quite disappointed in everything, and it's going not very good for him. Piastri reduced the point difference for two with Norris. We should see if he can continue this, but the more and more time pass, it becomes more clear that Norris is not achievable unless he has a DNF. Uh, that's it. Let's talk about the matches to watch. Despite this F1, NFL also Panthers. I just said the important games in my opinion. Steelers against Bills, Panthers against Rams, the most important two, at least in my opinion. And there are some other games that can change a lot. So interesting to watch. Let's go to football. Um, Sevilla against Betis in La Liga. Let me see if we are. Yeah. Sevilla against Real Betis in La Liga, a derby, big match for South Spain, big derby, big rivalry, and they're playing against each other. Betis, if I remember right, it had better. It's just from my memory. I didn't check the stats, but had better stats in the last few matches. Arsenal against Chelsea, biggest game of the night. Arsenal being on top of with 6 points difference from Chelsea. Um, of course, City had a win, but we come to that. But the thing is that Chelsea also in insane good form, really good wins, especially against Barca. Now they're very confident. Arsenal winning against Bayern Munich, super confident. So very interesting to watch, and yeah, we should see one of the best defenses, one of the best attacks. So United goes against Palace, Liverpool against West Ham, Real against Girona, um, Girona, yeah. Girona is almost at the end, so Real but had difficulties to even win against the lower teams. Barca had a win, so they have to. It's a must win for Real Madrid as well. Inter plays against Pisa. Interesting, but Rome against Napoli is also the second interesting game of the night. Both teams have the chance to uh, fight it out, see who can come on top, and it is very interesting. Especially Milan won last night, so it's a must win for both teams, but only one can win, or maybe none if they make it draw. That's about that. Let's go to the games last night. We start with the Premier League. Man City leads. It's 3-2 to Man City. The way the games went, I watched most of this game. The first half I watched fully. It was Man City game, all Man City. Holland was completely though protected. Maybe two, three players on Holland at all time. He was protected. He didn't have a place to breathe. Of course, he didn't score either. Kane also didn't. So Mbappe, if he scores, he can get. He scored 4 goals in the Champions League, and he can get some goals maybe tonight and change the dynamic a bit in that competition. But they were covering Holland so much, but Foden was the superhero. Scored 2 goals last night, and Guardiola won. uh, scored a goal at first, one of the earliest goals in the season. Not one of, at the moment, the fastest goal in this season of Premier League. Foden scored. Later on, it was broken by Newcastle. This one was 58 second, that one was 52, something like this, which is interesting, and we will go to the Newcastle game as well. Guardiola scored, I think it was from a corner, and if I remember right, and yeah. So, what can I say? Man City was a bit in trouble because of last two games and two losses they had against Newcastle in the Champions League. Also, they had a loss against Leverkusen. So they needed this. They started pretty good. They had lots of opportunities. As I said, Holland wasn't uh, really there because they were controlling him a lot. Let me see. Yeah, corner was from Guardiola, and when you were saying the first half, you would think it's over for Leeds, but in the second half, Leeds actually played better, started playing better. It was in City home, and they went in a beast mode. Uh, one mistake from the defenders when they wanted to kick the ball out. Leeds scored, and another penalty from Guardiola gave the penalty. Leeds scored. It became 2-2, but then Man City went in the beast mode and did attacks till Foden in 91 minutes scored and made it 3-2, and they won the game. For Man City, it was also must-win game. If they didn't win, it would be 3 games in a row they didn't have a win, 2 losses, 1 draw maybe. But the other thing is that they would be way behind Arsenal, especially if they win their game today. So yeah, they needed the win, and Arsenal Chelsea became more intense after this win. Let's go to the next game. We don't have much time. It's already 7 minutes. Bournemouth against Sunderland. 3-2 to Sunderland. Bournemouth was 2-0 up, and Sunderland had a full crazy comeback. Uh, so early lead for Bournemouth, they scored on teamwork. Then in the middle of the ground, almost a bit to the away team, Bournemouth had a shot very far, and they scored that goal. And at I think 15 minutes they were 2-0 up, something like that. I was following this game, but then a penalty for Sunderland gave them some hope, and then a very narrow angle goal, and then a corner. It's very funny because they scored 3 goals in 3 different ways, and interesting, and they completed their comeback. Sunderland, super amazing. It was at home, so the energy was super high and very interesting to watch. Maybe one of the games that you want to watch the highlight. The other points to say that Bournemouth almost scored another goal. I think that point would be 3-0. I don't remember, but I don't remember this, how when in the game this happened. But then another striker tried to make it a tapping. The ball almost, at least it looks, it's going to the goal, and made it offside. Also, they hit woodwork in 85 minutes. So it was a very crazy game, close game. Cook also got a red card at the last minute, elbowing one of the Sunderland players. That's about this. Oh my god, 10 minutes almost. Um, Tottenham against Fulham. Fulham scored 2 goals super early. Um, I think less than 10 minutes they scored 2 goals. The second goal was insanely bad because um, the goalkeeper exited the goal. The goal took the ball perfect till here from the attacker, didn't make them. Tottenham didn't let them have the opportunity, but then when he was kicking it out, he passed it to the Fulham player and he scored. Of course, empty goal, empty net. It was pretty bad. Um, Fulham did a good work. Also, they had a 1v1 that the striker passed the goalkeeper and Van de Ven kind of tackled very dangerously and took the ball out of his legs in the last seconds of not letting him scoring. So it could be 3-0, 4-0 in like first 30 minutes. And Kudas scored a goal at 51 minutes. Pretty good goal. Pretty good goal. And a lot of opportunities they made Tottenham, but they missed. And Fulham won that game 2-1 against Tottenham at their home. Tottenham definitely not having a good form against Chelsea, against Arsenal, against Paris Saint-Germain, now against Fulham. They're not having a good form. They're not doing well, and Thomas Frank definitely under pressure. Let's go to Newcastle. Everton 4-1 to Newcastle. I said one of the fastest goals. Thiaw, Chow, however you pronounce it, made a brace. Walter Meida also scored. Set piece was the first goal I wrote. Dewsbury Hall also scored for Everton. Barry also scored a goal for Everton, but it was handball because when he was stopping it, it touches his hand. Pickford made a lot of saves. Like Newcastle could even score more. Amazing saves, but on the second goal, kinda in fault, but nonetheless, he made lots of saves. Otherwise, it could be much worse. Sorry. Brentford 3-1 against Burnley. Thiago made the brace, 2 goals, and he's doing fantastic behind Haaland. If Haaland didn't have such a peak season, probably Thiago would be the star of the whole Premier League. Let's go to Serie A. I'm trying to be fast. US won 2-1 against Cagliari. They scored first goal Cagliari 26, Yildiz 27, and later on Yildiz scored another goal, so saved the Juventus team. And it was first half. Second half, not much of a chance, at least not in the highlights. And 2-1 was the result Juventus was walking away with. It was a good win for them. Nonetheless, Yildiz being the superstar, they still have problem scoring goals. Milan won against Lazio, nil. Manian crazy save in the first half, keep them 0-0. Probably best player again. Manian is doing pretty good. Not many chances first half, to be honest. Yeah, there were some good chances later on, but still boring game. Allegri really keep the games boring, but get the wins. Mostly 1-0 games, I think the most repeated for Milan. Leao scored at 52. He's on an amazing goal after coming back from the injury. At the end of the game, 95, there was a penalty check for Lazio. It became such a fight. Allegri got the red card, went out. Security check for Lazio, also red card, but at the end, the referee decided that it wasn't a penalty. I don't have much to say about that, to be honest. I didn't understand if it was or not, but nonetheless, that was the decision. And we had a few comebacks last day. Sunderland, Man City, kind of Leeds had a comeback, and then it wasn't completed. Yeah, and also Juventus, but also Bayern Munich 3-1 against St. Pauli. St. Pauli scored first, then they responded, and they made it 1-1, I think, in the first half, but in the last minute, 93 and 95 minutes, Juventus scored 2 other goals and won 3-1. Luis Diaz made the comeback second goal, of course. He also needs to come back to his form, and he did. Harry Kane also, they hit the woodwork 3 times. I think 2 times was Harry Kane, kind of like this. Like Bayern was playing good, but they couldn't just score. and Bayern also they getting good result and enough result to win the Bundesliga anyway, but they get in a lot of trouble recently. So interesting. Uh, Maybe they can look into that. And what I wrote, in my opinion, the third goal of Bayern Munich must be offside. Like, what's crazy for me is that they say the striker from Bayern Munich and the defender of St. Pauli are in a very mixed fight, and the ball goes to Jackson, if I'm not wrong, and he scores. But nonetheless, like when we have moments when someone doesn't touch the ball, but we say it's penalty because it affected. I don't know. They dodged late. I don't know. It was covering someone's eyes, of whatever reason. If you can see the struggle and the touches, how is that not a penalty? I don't get it. I'm not against Bayern Munich. I'm just saying it's weird to me how they go through these things. The other important game of the Bundesliga was 2-1 for Dortmund in Leverkusen house. Super good chances for Leverkusen. They played pretty good, but they had very weak defending against headers. That was their um, Achilles. That's the English way to say it as well. I hope, but you get it. So two headers, two goals, Adeyemi and Anselmino. One from set piece, one in the game. That was their Leverkusen problem, and yeah, they scored back at 83 minutes, but they couldn't score anymore. But they had good chances in total in the game. It could go anyway. Um, Dortmund also becoming better and better in set pieces, and it's becoming more popular. It seems. Still a lot of games to go. I should be faster, but I'm still missing a lot of details to say. Bilbao won 2-0 against Levante in La Liga. Nico Williams scored. Atletico Madrid 2-0, two goals in 16 and 27 minutes, and then they just kept it. Some good opportunities, but they won against Oviedo. Barca against Alaves, also another comeback, a bit weak comeback, but they scored from a corner, Alaves, very early in the game. Barca at 2 minutes, at second minutes, if I'm not wrong. Yamal scored at 8 minutes. Rafinha was fixed and was playing in the first team. Interesting, Yamal had one goal, one assist. In total, Rafinha also had an assist, Levo had an assist, Olmo had a brace. So they scored, and the Olmo goal was very beautiful, actually, in my opinion, because yeah, it was an interesting one, at least for me. Lots of chances for Barca. Goalkeeper, though Alaves had good chances, and goalkeeper Garcia saved a few good chances. At the end of the game, Filic, the head coach, was quite sad, sitting, almost looked like he's crying. I don't know, but Rafinha was talking to him that it will be all right. He was very disappointed with the way Barca played. They won, but he was very disappointed. They won, and Real Madrid has a must win now. Otherwise, Real Madrid will lose the top. Let's go to final of Copa Libertadores. I still didn't watch even the highlight. I couldn't stay awake to watch the game. I was too tired yesterday. I only watched the Dortmund game, a bit of Monaco and PSG game, and a Man City game, a big portion of it, and that was it, which is a shame. But Flamengo won 1-0 against Palmeiras. Danilo scored at 67 minutes. I'm not a kid. And fourth win of Copa Libertadores. I will talk about it more if I see what to say about. I need to watch the highlights. PSG against Monaco. Monaco won. Monaco had 2-4-1 losses in League One. A draw against Pafos in Champions League. Not their best, but they defeated PSG in a good way. In points, Monaco was better, like they deserved to score, and they defended it good. PSG had some misses. At the end, PSG was pretty good, but wasn't enough. Dembele didn't start the game. Pogba came in 85th minute in the last moments and they defended well and they got the win against PSG. So PSG offered the top to Marseille, who were 2 points behind. Guess what? Marseille had a draw, didn't take it. It happens a lot with PSG and Bayern Munich when they are on top. They offer and the others also. I don't know, it's a weird thing. Marseille 2-2 against Toulouse. Wamian made an assist. Marseille was, of course, much better, but couldn't get the win. They're 1 point behind PSG now. Let's forget about this and move on. And in MLS, Messi 5-1, New York FC. Messi got the Eastern Conference win, the champion of the Eastern Conference. This is the first time for Inter Miami to get this far, and they will go to final of the championship of MLS. Messi had an assist. Allende had 3 goals, hat-trick, all balls, so gave an assist that I watched. I don't know about the other assist. I saw them, but I forgot. I don't remember. I'll be honest, but it was a great game for them. 5-1, easy, going to final, going against Vancouver, who won last night, became the champion of the Western Conference, and Thomas Muller, who didn't play very good in the knockout, if I want to be honest, in total. But they go against each other nonetheless in the next week, and amazing game to watch. And Messi probably, the way I saw the highlights and the stats, probably gonna get it. It would be amazing for them. And yeah, is that it? No, Benfica with Mourinho had a comeback as well. One with Nacional at 60 minutes, they conceded one. They were one behind, and at 89 and 95, they of course had a better stat, but they scored one, so they will not be too much behind. I think they are now 6 points behind already from Porto, but not too much behind in the competition for Portugal. And also Hart made a draw and offered Celtic the top. They're 2 games behind, like they not 2 games behind, they did not play 2 games yet, the amount of games they played, but if they win both, they can go on top, Celtics. That's about it, that's all. Whew. Yes, a lot of details missed, but I tried to do my best to cover it up in 23 minutes now. Don't forget to subscribe, like, or write a comment please, and hopefully I'll see you tomorrow. Have a good day. Bye.